Hello there, everyone. How you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/askreddit to ask Reddit, what is suspicious to own but not illegal? If you enjoy, remember to like, subscribe, comment down your own thoughts and stories and answers to the question listed above. In and without further ado, let's get started. I lost the key to my crawl space's padlock once and went to the hardware store to buy bolt cutters so I could replace it. I told the cashier why I was buying them without being asked, and he was like, "It's funny. Everyone that buys bolt cutters feels like they need to tell me why they're buying them. I think they just want me to know they aren't about to do something illegal." I was at Home Depot with a shopping cart full of PVC stuff, and this cop standing in line behind me says, "Building a potato cannon, huh?" I actually was building a potato cannon. Having a crowbar, large bolt cutters, and pantyhose in the same general area. I just want to do some moderate demolition work and feel pretty, okay? Leave me alone. Multiple padlocks on your basement door. A closet grow tent for tomatoes. Too many of any one innocuous item. You've got 10 citrus squeezers, 25 dusters. I'm gonna be side eyeing you. I got pulled over late at night when the cop shined his light into the cargo area of my station wagon. The most visible objects were a shovel, rope, gloves, and the giant tarp wrapped bundle of yard refuse. I was bringing to the town compost in the morning. Surely there was at least one roll of duct tape or gorilla tape back there. At least he had a sense of humor about it when he strolled up to my window. "So we're off to bury the body under the cover of night, huh?" "Officer, I think we both agree it isn't daylight work." Three entire phones. A collection of other people's hair. Why would I have other people's hair? I just want to make a fancy wig out of an amalgamation of other people's hair. It sounds fancy to me. A human skull. A candlestick, dagger, revolver, lead pipe, wrench, and rope. A very large and thorough collection of... I don't think I'm allowed to say that word. Mustache Man followers, memorabilia. Not in most countries, anyway. Lockpicks. They're seen as thieves' tools, but lockpicking isn't uncommon for a hobby. Oh boy, it's all. Loads of money in cash. Did they go shopping at Walmart and buy duct tape, a tarp, and zip ties? Maybe some cleaning products? I don't know why it's always Walmart, but it's always Walmart. It's not illegal to go to Walmart and buy trash bags, a saw, and cleaning supplies at 2 a.m., but I've seen enough true crime stuff to say it is mighty suspicious. You donate a kidney. You're called a hero. You donate 2 kidneys. You're called a saint. But try to donate 3 kidneys, and suddenly there's a bunch of questions. More than a few bottles of Robitussin or Sudafed. Those are medications for those who are not aware. I take some of those. ADHD go burr. An M102 howitzer in your front yard. The neighbor across the street had one pointed at our house. We were friends. A ritual dagger, as he described it. My one college roommate had one displayed and would occasionally need the room to himself. I opted for a place where I had my own room next year. A certain kind of mushroom spore kits. Legal to buy, illegal to cultivate and distribute to the mature product. A PT Cruiser. Duct tape, cable ties, chloroform, and condoms. An old beat up van with free candy on the side. Oh, I wonder why that's so frowned upon. An island with a volcano shaped like a skull. A suspiciously large homework folder on your computer. Granted, in some cases that could be illegal, I suppose. A very sensitive scale. A flip comb which looks like a switchblade. Remember those? Those fountains that have little children peeing. You're an instant weirdo. Toenails kept in any sort of container. Firearm suppressors, also known as silencers. Just as legal to own as a pistol. Same legal standards for ownership words are hard. I'm not reading that word, okay. With the caveat of some additional paperwork and a $200 tax. Used in almost no crimes at all. Fully legal, fun as crud to shoot, and easy on the ears. But tell someone outside of the community you own one and they think you're an assassin wannabe. I think a guillotine would probably raise some suspicion. I had all my baby teeth saved in a little container at one point as an adult. Just never threw them away. I got rid of them when I watched the season of Dexter, where there is a serial killer who kept a collection of his victims' teeth, and it made me think, yeah, this could look weird. More smoke detectors than you need to keep your house safe. A tank. Most states don't prohibit you from owning one because it's just something you don't expect someone to have. But I would find it really suspicious if one was parked in my neighbor's driveway. Like, why though? A lot of Claritin D 24-hour allergy medicine. It takes a while, but I do this over the summer and winter so I don't run out in fall and spring. I mean, I don't need a 5-foot dildo mounted to a sword hilt. But I have one. It's purple. A room with tinfoil on every surface and loose wires hanging from the ceiling. A baseball bat with nails in it and naming in it. Lucy, is that you? A flamethrower. Or a bayonet for a flamethrower. A bunch of kids' shoes, but no kids. 3 pigs painted with the numbers 1, 2, and 4. Concerning amounts of rope. Why would you have all that rope? Anyway, we gotta swap to another subreddit because we ran out of answers here. So let's do that. What is a little bombshell your therapist dropped in one of your sessions that completely changed your outlook? If you don't have these problems with any other person in your life, why do you think you're the problematic person in this one? You can't control your emotions, but you can control what you do with them. At the time, I was a young adult who had learned 0 healthy emotional regulation skills. Only suppressing and shaming growing up, so this blew my mind. I was at a high-stress time, and I asked her how people live like this. And she replied, oftentimes they have cardiac events. She said it as an urging to take care of myself as much as possible. Accepting something doesn't mean you have to like it. That took away a lot of my inner conflicts about situations, because I could accept a situation without expending energy internally, fighting against the injustice of it. You are not responsible for your parents' emotional well being. They are independent adults who have been on this earth for many, many more years than you. It sounds like to me you're trying to convince yourself to stay with your girlfriend. I'm not so sure it should be so difficult. At the time he said this, I remembered it was like he said, the earth is flat. I thought he was crazy when he suggested relationships don't need to be difficult. But eventually I started to realize I was trying to change myself in order to stay with this person rather than just being who I am. It took me 3 more months to finally break up with her, but from that day on I vowed to never again abandon myself, just to be with somebody I convinced was better than me. Why do you make people more comfortable when you are uncomfortable? When talking about people pleasing and fawning. For context, I had a major TBI, seizures, strokes, and all around not a fun brain time when I was 28. You have to grieve the loss of yourself. Most people wanted me to go back to how I was. The screwed up truth is that that part of my brain was dead. The person everyone, including myself I knew, died. I needed to grieve the loss of myself. Stop trying to get everyone to agree. When you need everyone to agree, the least agreeable person has all the power. It really changed my outlook on planning family events. He said, claim the right to your space in the world. My self-esteem and self-worth were non-existent. I didn't believe I deserved the oxygen I was breathing. He was saying that being a person, being born, gives you the right to exist. You don't have to earn it. You're here. Claim your space. You always talk about not wanting to do to your daughters what your mom did to you. You worry about it so much in every interaction you have ever had with them. But your children are 19 and 21 now. They are happy and healthy, and they trust you because you've never abused them in any way. So I just want to validate for you that you really have broken the cycle of violence. You did that, and you should be proud of it. I am proud of you for it. That my job and career is just a way to make money. It's not my life or my identity. It took a lot of pressure off of me. How was anger expressed in your household growing up? Were you allowed to show anger? At which point I realized I wasn't allowed to show any negative emotions whatsoever, especially not in reaction to negative emotions from my parents. Am I the... Oh, no, that's just the guy lurking in the comments for free therapy. I've never really had friends. I've had colleagues and classmates and housemates, and people who have hung out with me, but I've never felt close to any of them. And I did that thing you see on here sometimes. I stopped reaching out to see if I would be reached out to, and I wasn't, which I took as confirmation that they didn't really want me around, or at the very least that they wouldn't mind my absence. I was talking to my therapist about people I had been close to in college, and she told me to pick one and talk about him. So I did, and after I shared some basic stuff like his name, his major, and so on, and a couple anecdotes, she asked me what else I knew about him, and I couldn't answer. It wasn't really a broadly applicable bombshell, but she just said, "What else?" And I started crying because I realized that, for as simple as the question was, my inability to answer spoke volumes. I've never had good friends because I've never been a good friend. I'm withdrawn and reserved, and I always made others do the work to drag me out, without ever extending my own friendship in a meaningful way in return. If I wanted to have meaningful relationships with other people, I would have to build them. I'm still working on this, but I'm trying to make more offers and extend more friendliness to others in my life. Why do you think you're lazy? She then listed off all the things she knows I'm doing for my family, my job, and my life. It kind of blew my mind when I struggled to come up with an example. She also described family dysfunction as a water. Some families are messed up in a way that everyone can see the huge waves across the surface. Others are better at hiding it, but there's still a riptide that you can't see unless you are also in the water. It made me realize that trying to keep the surface from ever rippling doesn't erase what is happening underneath. Your mom is never going to be the parent you want or need, so stop expecting her to be and being mad that she isn't. Also, people who are addicts tend to get frozen at the time they started abusing drugs or alcohol, because their focus is their addiction and not developing as a person. So a person who started drinking heavily at 13 and quit at 30 would behave a lot like a 13-year-old. I was constantly bringing up how I felt like a completely different person after my mom died. Like there was a marked difference before and after her death. But once she was asking about my hobbies, I got really into describing all the things I loved to do, or at least used to do before I got into a deep depression. She was like, "Wow, you seem very passionate." And I just sat there like, well, I mean, I can't change what I like to do. There's still fun to do, and it's like she knew when to take a step back. 'Cause it was like, wow, I may be super depressed about my mom's passing, but I'm still me. I'm still my passions, and those don't go away. That's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed the stories I had for you. If you did, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and leave a story in the comments if you want to have me read them sometime. If I get enough, I might make a video out of them. Anyway, see you next time.